Back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a different challenge, like a small side project while we do all of the normal projects. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these here and we're gonna make the smallest coaster of its kind that we can and try to create a micro coaster compact of some sorts. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today. Now there's 56 coasters in total in this builder, including the coaster. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna roll a random number and then we are going to create a coaster out of the number that we get. Okay, so here we are in the random number generator. We're gonna generate a number between 1 and 56, and whatever number we get over here is the coaster model that we're gonna get. So with that being said, let's press this button and we're getting 51. All right, so 51. So we're building a Kingdom Isle wooden coaster, which I guess it's a paid TC, but I'd love to create kind of an Intamin coaster with this one. So let's investigate first. All right, so from what I've been able to gather, we got 4 roller coasters that are made by Intamin that are prefab woodies. We all know El Toro, it's the most remarkable one. And from what I've seen, all 4 of them feature a unique layout that I think it's pretty Intamin like. So it starts with a lot of airtime hills and then just goes into a bendy section at the end when it starts losing some speed. So I guess that's when I'm going to do, but in a micro, smaller scale. Now, the tallest one out of all these is T-Express, which is 56 meters. Close second is El Toro with 55. The smallest is Boulder with 36 meters. Now I think I'm gonna make it 30 meters, which is 100 feet tall, which I think would be pretty cool to have like a compact coaster be at most 30 meters. But I'm gonna try to make like a smaller El Toro T-Express or Boulder. I think Colossus is the most lackluster out of all of them, I feel like, from watching the POVs. So let's get to it, I guess. And we're here on a speed build mode, sorry. It's a funny story what happened with this. All this footage that you guys are seeing right now actually has voice on it, and my intention was to give like an edit like the one that you saw before this, but it ended up being too long for what I wanted to do with this video, because I wanted this video to be like a short, light-hearted one. So it was not possible to achieve what I wanted to do, but I still wanted to upload it and show you what I've been working on with this coaster, which I'm really proud of, honestly, and it's a coaster that I would seriously love to see in some park. In Planet Coaster, of course, not in real life. I mean, I would love to see it in real life, but it's obviously not gonna happen. But yeah, it's a really cool coaster concept. Maybe the video was not as well planned as I thought, but it's okay. I'll get better at this, I hope, now that we got a full-on new game to work with. And yeah, I think that it helped me quite a bit to get out of the Uriel Garden situation where I was only thinking about that park, and I was kind of running out of ideas at some point, I feel like, because, well, working on the exact same project for a while ends up being a little bit tiring in the end. So I felt stuck at some point, and I took a little bit longer to upload some videos from that series, because I think that was the problem. That I was focusing too much on one single series because I wanted to finish it, and I felt bad for the last years that I didn't finish, and I wanted to finish. So I was focusing on that and hyper focusing on that, trying to make it worth your time to see. But I feel like doing whatever I feel like in the moment is some better content. It's the better content that I could produce rather than just building what I feel like should be built. If that makes sense. I don't know if it did, but yeah, that was my way of thinking. In other news or topics that I wanted to talk about, I recorded, as I said, this video once the DLC, the first Planet Coaster DLC, was released. I made the mistake to buy it and thinking that, well, it might only have 5 rides, but sometimes in some other DLCs from the past game in Planet Coaster 1, we have seen that maybe the ride selection was not as much, but then we had scenery pieces and all that to complement that, right? Well, this DLC includes no scenery. It's just $10 for 5 ride types. And 3 of them are flat rides, which I feel, even though, of course, they still take time to, create, and the creative team still needs time to create those kind of rides. I feel like flat rides are not something as looked for as coasters, for example, because if it was a DLC of 5 models, 5 coaster models, then I would have seen the pricing a little bit more reasonable. But seeing that there's only 2 coasters, one of which is kind of a reskin of the coaster cars from the family Mack spinner, and the other coaster is good. It's cool. I'm not gonna lie, that other coaster model, no complaints about that. But the flat rides are one of them, a repeated flat ride from Planet Coaster 1, because there was a flat ride over there that was called the Psychola, that was exactly what we've been sold this time again. And then 2 other rides that are not my cup of tea, I would say. I love flat rides and I would love to have more flat rides added, but I feel like if you're gonna have a DLC with only 5 rides, they should be coasters or tracked rides, not flat rides. I'm sorry, I know it takes work to produce them, but it's not the work that it takes, it's what it adds to the game. And a flat ride is just a flat ride. It doesn't add much more stuff to the game, or as much as a coaster, because a coaster gives you endless opportunities to create any kind of coaster, any layout that you want. The flat ride is the flat ride. It comes with various sequence options, but it doesn't change up from the fact that it's just still the same flat ride, and the only thing that varies is the order in which the sequence is taking, which doesn't change a lot from it, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of disappointed, and at the same time I'm kind of afraid that Frontier's gonna go the greedy route with this game. I hope they don't, because, well, from what I've seen, it's been, the developers have put a lot of effort into this game, and this is could be something from upper management, that they wanted to make some quick money or something, but I hope it doesn't go as bad as that. You always know how they say second parts were never good or as good as the first parts. I had my doubts with this one, and at first I thought that this would end up being a better sequel than the original, but it's taking time, and with the state of the game right now, I feel like the game should be considered to be early access and not a full-on release game. At the state that it is, at least, I've found quite a few bugs and quite a few stuff that I don't like, and still, hasn't been fixed. So for example, I remember that in Planet Coaster 1, if you wanted to select another piece or another object from the builder or any other object, the colors would be kept, and then you could or any other object in the same family. So for example, in the same exact family of bricked walls, for example, if you wanted to select the 4-meter bricked wall and then you selected the 2-meter one, the colors would be kept. But now that is actually not happening, which is interesting. And they haven't fixed it. They haven't also fixed a problem that when you press Ctrl C, the colors of the object that you have recolored go back to the original. My game crashes like crazy. You're gonna see these footage that you're seeing right now is split up in several time lapses because my game crashed like crazy. I don't know what it is with the scenery brush, but it crashes. My game closed, and it closed in the 2 computers I've run this game in. So I'm guessing it's not problem of my computer. It might be that the game cannot handle this dense of a brush, but then you should program it so that this dense of a brush is not achievable, I don't know. I want to still give a glimpse of hope to Frontier and to the developers to make this game be what it can be. There's a lot of stuff missing, but I trust that they will eventually get most of them. Maybe not all of them. I've started to lose hope on a continuous moving platform for coasters because the Omni Mover is the only thing that has that. And I would like a lot of stuff, several stuff, like more scenery pieces, which I'm sure it will come, so I'm not worried about that. I want several coaster models. I want the main ones that I would want are the Intamin Multi-Launch or Blitz, both of them if possible. Then the switch tracks, and then I would also like the SNS Axis, for example, or the SNS Free Spin, Intamin Sack Spin. Some rides like those would be pretty cool to see, but I still keep my faith on those. I still keep my faith on Frontier. And I'm hoping that we will get some fixes to the stuff that we are experiencing right now. But all in all, I gotta say, it's a great game. It's a really good game. I love a lot of the stuff in the game. There's some other stuff that might not be as good, but I have faith in the Frontier team. As of right now, the game has been released for 1.5 months now, so I hope that they get a lot of time to fix it and then end up fixing it and give constant updates. So yeah. Anyways, to finish up, I just went off topic for quite a while. Coming back to the coaster, this coaster is called Sliver of Hope. I wanted to give it a little bit more of a light-hearted theme to it and not make it seem as intimidating as it could, because coasters like these, or coasters in general, always have like a really intimidating name, like El Toro, wow, or I don't know, Raptor, Velocicoaster, Steel Vengeance, even. They're really, really, really imposing games. So I wanted to give a little bit of a more light-hearted name to it and more of a fun name. And now you guys are seeing me adding some more features to the actual coaster. I felt like I needed to add some more stuff to make it a little bit more interesting, so I added some roof covers in some places, and then I added this beautiful tunnel, which is not pitch black, which is what I was aiming for, but it's okay, you get the idea, and it's kind of dark. Some light gets through still. And then you are now seeing me place 2 lights, which are going to act as a ride photo. I placed it so that it would do quite more flashes, but I guess the engine doesn't support as rapid blinking, as fast of a rapid blinking as the one that I programmed. So it's okay. You get the idea. It was just to sell the illusion, and something that I've learned over the years of playing Planet Coaster is that you need to sell the illusion and not the actual thing in order for you to be happy with this game, because if you are trying to make it fully realistic, you will end up burnt out. So yeah, some final touches every here and there. I'm just adding some lights. I'm just adding some final touches to this. This is a blueprint that you will be able to download in the workshop as well. Of course, you will find the share code in the description box, and I feel like I'm gonna leave you guys with the POV right now. And yeah, if you guys liked this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can always change your mind later if you don't like my channel, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.